Yikes, guys. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Palantir stock is falling off a cliff, down about 6%, and the descending triangle that we talked about time and time again, I've been pounding the table about it. It's playing out. Now we're at $120 a share, and we actually hit $119 a share for the first time, I think, in over a year. I was reading something here. Palantir Technologies down over 6%, on track for lowest close since June 2025. So yeah, a year ago, guys. So we're now trading at pretty much a 1-year low on Palantir stock. And again, this descending triangle that we've been pounding the table about is playing out. This is why I've been very careful here not to add more shares. And I've been kind of waiting for this almost to add more shares. You know, we got a lot of pump fakes here in Palantir stock, like we have with a lot of these software names. Most recently, we ran from $135-ish all the way to $160, and that almost looked like it was going to be the breakout for Palantir, right? But it failed to take out this trend line, and it failed to break out really of the highs from earlier this year. Back in early February, back in March, we failed to break those highs, and we've been selling off aggressively since that point. You know, we hit 163, now we're down to 120 in the span of what, 3 weeks? We're down 27%, almost 30% down on the stock. So at this point, guys, I think we might be going even lower, right? If you guys look at the 3-year chart on Palantir, we have a pretty wide open gap now between us and, let's say, $100 a share, right? If I pull the 1-year chart on Palantir, or let's see if we can even see it on the 1-year chart. You can't see it on the 1-year chart. Back to the 3-year, if we zoom in a little bit, we can see $100 was resistance for a couple of months, a couple of weeks at least. Yeah, about 2 months back in February through April of last year, right? We failed to break $100. That's after we actually, hit all-time highs at 125. We then sold off. We failed to break through 100 for a couple months. Then we obviously broke through it. We got to 207. We doubled up. So where I'm getting at with that is, if we zoom in a little bit here, I extend this to the right. This is the gap that we're starting to fill here, in my opinion, down to $100 a share. I think that's where we could be going in the short term, and that's where it gets really interesting on this stock, right? If this stock gets down to 100, heck, even 105, 110, it starts to get very attractive for a buy, in my opinion. Not just a trade. If you have, a 3, 6, 9-month horizon, maybe for a longer-term swing trade, but also for a longer-term investment. I think it gets very interesting if we start to fill the gap down to 100. And if 100 breaks, I mean, look, I don't think that's going to happen, but let's say $100 breaks, we might be going down to 80, 85, closer to this 180 moving average on this 3-year chart, which would be insane. I'm not calling for that. That's too bearish in the short term, especially as stocks are at highs. I don't think it's going to get that ugly unless we get a bigger drop in the overall market. Let's say the Qs go down 10, 15% from here. Yeah, Palantir is probably going down under $100, guys. Sorry to break it to you. But as long as the markets stay decent, we're near all-time highs. I don't suspect Palantir is going to go down under 100, but it could again trickle down to 100, 105, 110, and that's where it gets even more interesting. So yeah, that's exactly why I haven't really bought more shares, because this is what I've been waiting for, and we're finally getting it here, guys. We're finally getting it, and people are like, why is Palantir down? Isn't this, one of those, stocks that just goes up forever? Well, that's what it looked like last year, right? In 2025, it kept going up in a way. One of the hottest stocks I've seen in my life last year. No joke. I mean, the run we had last year was insane, but it's just not sustainable. And it was honestly, the run started in 2024 into last year, all throughout last year. it just wasn't sustainable, guys. And it's almost coming back to reality. The stock is, the momentum has completely died out at this point. They're still, I mean, look, the company's still growing. They're still crushing it on all fronts pretty much. But the hype has died down. And usually that's a good time to potentially get back in. If you rode the entire hype cycle, you made a lot of money, you took your profits, now it's starting to die down, the stock's down a good chunk from where it was, hype's dying down, but the company's still fundamentally there, they're still growing, they're still looking great. That might be the time to, okay, maybe dip your toes back in. If you want to own the stock, if you want to be in a company like Palantir, right? Not saying to go do that, go buy it, do what you want, trade at your own risk, but sometimes when people aren't paying attention as much, the hype's died down, the stock's being hit too much, arguably in the short term, that could be a good time to go against the crowd and actually start buying. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? But personally, look, I'm in at $20 a share. You guys know that. I'm in at a cheap price. I locked in gains, a lot of gains at $180 at the end of last year. And I've just been sitting patient this entire year with this stock. And it's almost that time for me. 100, 105, 110. I think that's a great opportunity. And I just realized I have an eyelash in my eye. That's the worst when that happens, guys. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think about Palantir, man? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. I think 50% of you, actually, I know 50% of you watch the content, but you're not hitting subscribe. That needs to change. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that follow button if you're watching on Facebook. And yeah, cheers. I appreciate you all, as always, for tuning in, man. Without you, this content obviously wouldn't be possible. I would just be talking to, I guess, nobody without you guys. So I appreciate you all for taking the time to tune in. And it's not just Palantir today, man. A lot of software stocks are getting hit. A lot of big tech stocks are getting hit. You name it. Not many stocks are in the green today. Really, not many, except for names like Micron. Obviously, there's a lot of hype around their earnings on Wednesday. Tesla's up a little bit. Stocks like Monster, Lam Research, those are up a little bit. Intel, but a lot of these other ones are down, man. Roblox, Rivian, ARM Holdings, Netflix, and honestly, I don't even know why I have Roblox on my watch list anymore. This stock is, I don't know. We're not going to talk about it, but either way, Roblox is down 10%. Rivian, which tried breaking out a couple of weeks ago, it failed. This is down 7%. It's still trading sideways. It has been for months. I think we're still going to get a breakout on it, but probably not anytime soon. We're going to have to wait to see if 1718 breaks. That's where the real breakout comes. And we'll see, man, on Rivian, how that ends up playing out. Stocks like, let's see, Meta, they're down. CRM, Mercado Libre is back under $1,600 per share. Nebius is selling off after hitting $300, which, who called that out? I did, not to toot my own horn. But we talked about Nebius getting to 300. It did. Now we're starting to pull back. I think this dip will ultimately get bought as well, but not yet. Let's be patient on Nebius. Let's let it come down a little bit more. That's what I'm doing, at least. So yeah, what do you guys think, man? Interesting day for stocks. I think it is a decent time to add to some weakness. If you own big tech especially, I think it is a decent time to consider Amazon, Google, other stocks like that. Of course, trade at your own risk. That's what I'm doing. I'm just saying what I'm doing. I think a lot of people are looking at Amazon and Google as buys right now. And for me, more so, I'm looking at Amazon because, look, my Google position, I'm in at such a low average cost. I've been in it for years, so I'm very picky with where I add Google. But Amazon, look, it's more of a new position for me. I mean, look, I bought it 18, 24 months ago initially. But Google, I've been in for years, guys. So you got to keep that in mind. And Amazon, I think there's more upside over the next 12 to 18 months than there is in Google. So I'm focusing more on Amazon. But look, if you're not heavy in Google, you could argue it is a great time to add to that one too. Either way, man, stocks are looking good. We're at all-time highs pretty much. Not much to complain about. In fact, the Russell did hit all-time highs today. So it's just another day, man. Not a big deal. We're selling off. If you have capital, it might not be a bad idea to put a little bit to use. And that's why I always say keep cash on the sidelines, whether it's 5, 10, 15%, maybe more, depending on who you want to talk to, right? In your portfolio, have cash so you have a war chest, in other words, when stocks start to sell off, you're able to buy. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and consider joining my Patreon if you want to keep up with my actual portfolio updates, my trades, investments. If you want to be a part of my private Discord, that's linked down below on Patreon, or it's in the comment section, or go to stocksurfs.com/Patreon. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.